Hi there, I'm Dr. Alessandra Latour, founder of the Latour Leadership Academy. For more than 16 years, I've helped leaders at every level move from overwhelmed and reactive to clear, confident, and strategic in how they lead. This podcast is where we get real about leadership. We'll talk about the patterns, habits, and pressures that shape how we show up, and more importantly, how to grow through them. Here, you'll learn practical tools for leading authentically, building trust on your team, communicating effectively, and making decisions that reflect your values, not someone else's expectations. Leadership is a skill, one you can learn, strengthen, and embody with intention. So, if you're ready to lead with more clarity, confidence, and presence, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're tackling one of the most misunderstood leadership topics out there: empowerment. Most leaders say they want empowered teams, but deep down, many are secretly afraid of what empowerment actually means. What if my team makes the wrong decision? What if I'm no longer needed? What if things fall apart when I'm not the one approving everything? What if delegation slows us down instead of speeding us up? If you've ever felt that tension, you're in good company. Empowerment sounds simple, but it challenges almost every instinct leaders develop early in their careers. Today, we're going deeper, far beyond the typical advice like trust your team or delegate more. We're talking about the psychology behind empowered teams and what actually moves the needle so your team can function and even excel without you in the middle of everything. Let's dive in. This is not about becoming a hands off leader, it's about becoming a scalable one. Gallup's research shows that teams with high psychological empowerment see 21% higher profitability, 17% higher productivity, and up to 59% lower turnover, and significantly higher creativity and innovation. But here's the key: empowerment isn't a perk, it's a performance strategy. The goal is not to create a team that's independent. It's to create a team that's self-sufficient, confident, and capable of taking ownership without needing your constant oversight. That level of performance only happens when you understand the deeper psychological drivers behind it. Most leaders assume empowerment is about delegation, but it actually starts with psychology, specifically 4 core needs that must be met for people to take initiative and make decisions confidently. These come from decades of research in motivation science and leadership development. So let's break them down. Number 1, competence. I believe I can do this well. You cannot empower someone who internally feels underprepared. That's how bottlenecks form. In psychology, this is rooted in self-efficacy theory, the belief that you can successfully execute a task. When competence is missing, you're going to see hesitation, second guessing, constant seeking of permission, fear of doing something wrong, and overly detailed questions. Empowerment requires that team members feel capable, not just assigned. This means clarity, coaching, and repeated opportunities to practice safe decision making. Number 2, autonomy. I have the freedom to choose how to do my work. Humans are wired for autonomy. In fact, self-determination theory shows autonomy is one of 3 psychological nutrients people need to be motivated and engaged. Without autonomy, people wait, people defer, people disengage, people avoid ownership. With autonomy, creativity increases, accountability rises, problem-solving improves, motivation becomes intrinsic, not forced. But here's the catch: autonomy without clarity creates chaos. Clarity without autonomy creates compliance. Empowered teams have both autonomy and clarity. Third one here: purpose. What I do matters. People don't take initiative on tasks they don't understand. They take initiative when they understand impact. Purpose drives empowered behavior. This isn't about making everything inspirational. It's about helping team members connect the task to the outcome to the customer or client, the customer to the mission, and the mission to the bigger picture. The question, why are we doing this, should always have an answer, not a vague one. Then we have psychological safety. I won't be punished for trying. This is the linchpin. Teams can only thrive without you when they feel safe enough to make decisions, take risks, bring forward ideas, correct issues early, admit mistakes, and ask for help. Google's Project Aristotle found that psychological safety is the #1 predictor of high-performing teams, above experience, intelligence, personality, or talent. If people fear that a misstep will trigger frustration, micromanagement, or judgment, empowerment collapses. So let's talk about the shift from good leadership to empowering leadership. Empowering leaders give context, not just tasks. They invite team members into decision-making early. They ask, "What do you think?" before, "Here's what I prefer." Empowering leaders delegate outcomes, not just steps. They build skill, not dependency. They celebrate progress, not perfection. And they coach publicly but correct privately. And they also allow for mistakes while guarding against reckless risk. And here's the biggest one. Empowering leaders don't jump in the moment discomfort appears. They allow people to struggle long enough to learn. That's how you grow a team that truly thrives without you. Let's be honest, empowerment requires you to fight your own instincts. Those instincts can often sound like, "It's faster if I just do it myself. I don't want anything to fall through the cracks. They're already busy. I don't want to overwhelm them. If this goes wrong, it reflects on me." These are all understandable. They're also the exact patterns that keep teams from growing. High-performing, self-sufficient teams emerge when leaders choose development over convenience, clarity over control, and trust over perfection. When you let go responsibly, your team will step in confidently, and that's where everything changes. If today's episode hit home, especially the part about letting go of control, delegating outcomes, and helping your team truly thrive, then I want to invite you into my course, Leadership by the Minute, Strategic Time Management for Leaders. Inside this course, we break down the 4 real reasons leaders should delegate, how to do it effectively, and how to stop unintentionally bottlenecking your team. We also dig into practical, psychology-informed time management strategies that help you reclaim your day, reduce overwhelm, and build a team that performs exceptionally, with or without you. If you're ready to lead with more clarity, more confidence, and a lot more strategic time, you can learn more at latourleadershipacademy.com/time management. That's latourleadershipacademy.com/time management. Thanks for joining me today, and as always, have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for joining me today. If this episode resonated, I'd love for you to continue the conversation with me. Head on over to latourleadershipacademy.com. You'll find leadership tools, programs, and free resources designed to support your growth at every stage of your leadership journey. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe to our weekly leadership newsletter. It's where I share fresh insights, reflection prompts, and strategies you won't hear anywhere else. Thanks for spending your time here. Keep leading with intention, and I'll see you in the next episode.